Zack Mclaughlin. I make paper sculptures, mainly birds, but always nature inspired, using any materials I can find really. So a more detailed description of what I do, I guess, would be to look at animals in nature and break them apart if you like, so flat pack them, draw them out and then recreate them in my own way from the ground up. So I use materials like wood or clay or wire for the body sculptures, and then using paper usually for the textures, for the hair, for the feathers. I'll build them up to be more realistic and then lastly paint them to create, I don't know, it's kind of like a taxidermy but not. So yeah, ethical taxidermy maybe, that's what I do. So I've always been into art, I've always liked drawing, creating. I think my earliest art was always drawing cartoons, but also, I don't even remember the little Warhammer figurines, little lead soldiers, dragons, all sorts of things like that. I used to love painting those. I spent hours and hours a day just fiddly little painting. Yeah, so many of them, I've got a massive collection of them. I used to love doing that, so I guess my attention to detail and the love for art and painting really came from doing that. And then that expanded into drawing weird, fantastical things, and school opened up more avenues for trying out different ways of making things and doing things. It's always been there, it's just I didn't know where to direct it until later in life, I guess. When I first came into making sculptures, it was all by accident, very organic. So the way I did it, I was doing my own children's book idea, the little boy in it who is held captive. He creates his own escape by making a paper bird lantern out of old books and willow sticks. And I went about illustrating the story and I could not get it to look right, to look real, this paper bird lantern he made. So I took 3 months out of the story to make a very large scale model of it. And through doing that, I came to love the process of creating things in 3D, and I figured out paper would lend itself really well to the texture of feathers. And then the wood element came in after that actually, because the lantern was a hollow thing. I wanted to make something that was a bit more robust, and I was trying to think commercially as well, how I could recreate something for someone to buy that would last, not something that's flimsy and throw away. So I just kept experimenting with clay, with wire, with wood for under sort of structure for the skeleton of these things, and adding things like eyeballs out of acrylic and whatever materials I could find, whatever seemed to work for each individual bit, like the legs or the eyes or the beaks, I'd use through experimentation and got it right. And then the feathers would cover it all up, so whatever was underneath, the mess that was underneath there, you wouldn't see any of it because it was covered up by all this detailed feathering. And then the painting again covers that up again, so that's where the illustration came back into it. So right now I'm working on a few different pieces. I've got some behind me actually. I've got so there's a hummingbird I'm working on, so a little gold, green, blue hummingbird. Also a black-faced grassquit. It's coming there, it's a bit more complete than the hummingbird. Just got to paint that one up and mount it on his branch. And also an owl, which is in the very early stages. Absolutely no paper at all on that. So those three. But the big one at the moment is a large glass dome with 10 hummingbirds on a branch inside. I've just done the designs for that, and the next stage is to start making it, which is probably going to take about a month. I'm looking forward to getting my teeth sunk into that one, which will be good. So this is my book of drawings I do for the birds. So I've got quite a few designs in here now. It's built up over time, but as you can see, kind of the layouts I do. So this is say for a barn owl wing, and this is how I make sure I get every shape of every feather right for each bird. So it's kind of like drawing my own blueprints for every single feather on every wing and every tail as well. So this is a sparrowhawk, this guy. You can see the underside and the top side of the wings. And then how many of each feather I need, and it's all colour coded. It's all very anal, but it's the way I like to be. Got a kingfisher, Gordian finch. This one actually made, this is one I made for David Attenborough actually, which was quite amazing. Didn't really feel real until I saw the photos come back with him holding it, and really enjoyed playing with it, which was really cool. Like, an amazing feeling. Yeah, it's weird. I don't really think about it, but when I do, it's quite an amazing He's one of my heroes. I think he's a lot of people's heroes. He's like a legend, isn't he? Blank pages, but I do some have more at the back of other wire pieces, and it's forever growing, this book, which I quite like as well, having all the drawings and the blueprints and whatnot. It's cool. So a typical day for me, probably get into the studio about between 9 and 10 in the morning, depending on how I get here, whether I go to the gym or not, which usually I don't, I'm a bit lazy. But I get here, have my coffee, always have to have my coffee in the morning, and then usually a couple of hours emailing, procrastinating online, sorting out what I'm going to do that day, and then I finally get into work just before lunch usually. Depends on the project, so if it's say making a bird, I'll just literally get straight into either cutting the paper or making the body or drawing the blueprints, whichever thing I'm about to do. I tend to stick to one thing a day because I find it hard to spread myself across too many things, and I put as many hours as I can into that, just zone out. Usually work quite late, like 9 o'clock some nights. Yeah, eat when I can, drink when I can between that when I come out of my meditative state, but yeah, usually get a few hours in every day. So I get inspiration from a lot of places, but I usually get it without even realising. It's always the natural world. I'm rarely drawn to man-made stuff, hardly ever actually. It's always natural patterns or colour or light. I love light in nature. Yeah, it's always animals mainly, just the colours, the variety, the beauty of them. I always want to try and do it justice by copying it, if that's the word. Apart from the paper and wood stuff, I do a bit of illustration here and there for children's books. I do my own paintings. I do some clay work, some wire work. I actually do tutorials and wire models and stuff I make. So it's like the skeletons, the bare bones, if you like. I think we've got a couple here, so say like this little rabbit, don't you see it very well, little rabbit there, because they're quite nice, easy, quick things to make, and that was kind of an easier way of me to make things faster. It's always about time for me. Things are very time consuming, so it's trying to make it work viably and money wise and all of that. Yeah, but mainly it's paper wood stuff. That's my main job, which is quite weird. So when I decided this is what I want to do full time, it wasn't really a decision actually, it was all accidental, all very organic. So I went from children's books, which I did for 6 years from university, organically into this by making my own prop for my own book. And then it kind of triggered something that I wanted to play with more, so experimented more with the paper and the wood. And then I went onto Etsy and started selling a few bits on there. And as I started to sell, it kind of generated more social media interest, which then led to more sales. It's all very organic, so then that took over from the illustration side. I still do bits of illustration here and there, but the paper and wood sculptures are my main income now, which I'd never have thought would have happened. I never even saw it coming, but it very organically went down that route, which I quite like. But then I can still go back and forth, dabble between the two, which is nice.